Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. A bit of a lighter tone, as you may notice, starting today's video. That's because today is the day. It has come upon us, and today is the final day we will do a career mode video in Season 5 for the final time as George Russell. We're world champion, of course, so there are many things to be happy about, but also, as you can hopefully expect, it's not obviously, well, it's not something we can be disappointed, sort of thing, if you understand. And what we're going to do today, we're going to sort of do a special helmet for ourselves today, okay? So we're going to go with, okay, sort of a different theme, okay? Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to sort of bring back some of the colours, okay, that we've had. So we're going to have the green, red and silver, a bit of a different coloured helmet this race weekend, because in our first season we had a green and blue helmet, and I like the silver to go with the silver arrow, so it'd be the silver, red arrow sort of thing, to represent Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, and all the seasons put together, obviously. The green will be quite nice. It'll be a quite bright green. Okay, the silver is obviously pretty basic. Okay, it'll be obviously, yeah, quite bright white to a more grey colour. So yeah, that's really what our helmet will look like throughout the course of this weekend. Everything else is going to be the same, okay, basically. But yeah, the final time we'll ever do a career mode video on F1 2018, which is quite insane. We started this journey back in December, and we're here now in May doing our final ever video or game or race on this game. And yeah, at the end of it, we'll reflect on our career, okay, at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that, okay. Might do that after qualifying, actually. Look at quickly back on how our career has planned out up till now, up to our final race on the game. And yeah, we'll just see how things go from then the race. So we'll head into FP1 as usual. And yeah, you know, we'll see what we can do for the final time, I guess, in free practice. And yeah. So, obviously, welcome to Abu Dhabi. Like usual, let's then get into it, okay? We probably won't be taking any penalties this race weekend, which is obviously good for us in terms of race perspectives. There's nothing really more to fight for also in terms of championships, so, you know, but nonetheless, I am trying to, well, I would like to get one final win. One final win to top the career out would be a nice way to end the career mode, for sure. Alright. Through turn 1. Not the greatest lines, but not bad anyway. Into turn 2. Flat through turn 3. Down into turn 4. Turn 5. Hairpin turn 6. Turn 6. Up into turn 7. Open up the DRS now, and then just literally the car will happily sit then in a straight line. Brake for the heavy braking zone, probably one of the heaviest on the track, if not the heaviest. At your face. And out of turn 7 and 8. And into probably second heaviest braking zone, or certainly one. A lot of 90-degree right-handers, by the way, around here. So we're not going to get purple this lap. by the way. Bit scruffy as well, so I certainly want to improve.
Good work. You seem to have
Right,
a solid handle on the
I
lap.
want to get
Let's
certainly
try
closer
and
to
perfect each
Esteban.
turn. Remember that chaining good corners
Through
together
turn 1,
will give you a consistency bonus.
into turn 2. I presume that means we're too early on brakes there, because we did get through the gates, just didn't register, so certainly then be more aggressive on brakes next time. Overall, I feel like this is a better lap. And for sure it is 1.5 is the gap now. Oh, that was horrible. Very scruffy out of turn 1.
Bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright.
So yeah, not the greatest exit out of turn 1. We'll restart the lap. We got that flashback. Alright, through turn 2. Flat out. Into turn 4. Remember, race will be 50% race distance, so more or less half the race distance. And around here, I believe it's 28 laps, something like that, you know, in terms of race distance. So it's a reasonably long race, not too long. Should be an easy one stop, I think, overall. I don't really see how this race could be a 2-stop. Oh, that was horrendous through there. Car really slid underneath us. So we got like a bit of rear slide. So tyres didn't want to turn in. We'll try and get purple because I really want to get all our resource points here. Right, so that is the first practice program done. Don't think we got purple, did we? No, we got the green, unfortunately. So we got so far 20 resource points for that. So, right, we'll put on a car setup, of course. Like always, we'll go for our favourite one. Okay, which is this one. 4 wings I usually run. It's just something nice about it. Okay, you give that sort of perfect balance of understeer, but also you don't get too much understeer, so you get good straight line speed, a bit of understeer which gives a good car balance, but also not too much. So you do get nice turning as well. Especially, you know, so it is a nice setup. Because you get the nice understeer. Then a really, really nice straight line speed balance. Ooh, that was a bit iffy coming out of there. Didn't feel quite as confident. I'll restart it anyway. So car's a bit slidey out through there, certainly. Sometimes it could be tyres, sometimes when you push this car. But yeah, nice exit out of there, almost gaining what we've lost. Now practically up on our delta by practically 4 tenths. So through that hairpin we've gained, and that's straight, we gained around 8 tenths, to almost a second actually. Let's see how much we can gain on this straight. So basically gain back all the time we've lost. So effectively we lost actually around a second on that lap, if I total it all up roughly. Right, so last time we gained around, well, we were 4 tenths up at the end of the straight, almost 6 actually. So what are we going to be this time? Roughly the same, 7 tenths. But we've managed to hold a 3/10 advantage. Chain bad. Race pace, we're looking pretty good right now, lapping quite low,
Great lap.
in 135s.
Keep it up.
Need to be careful in terms of how out wide we go. Alright, so we're going to get a nice slipstream here. Making our first overtake of the day on Carlos Sainz. Pulls to the left. Down the inside we go. Also with DRS as well. Bear that in mind, but still. Not bad. So, around the final corner. Let's see where that goes. P3. So far, P3, that will be then the end of our session, more or less. I'm happy with how the car's performing. Realistically, no major concerns. Like, yeah, especially in the race pace. Look how good we were actually during that.
An interesting
But yeah,
session there,
so
then.
they're finishing P10. Obviously, take sort of that as a pinch of salt because we didn't do any fast lap times at all. So we were focusing on track acclimatization and race pace, not getting the fastest lap. So yeah, you know, nonetheless. By the way, go check out my 2019 channel update, please, if you don't mind, if you're new to the channel, or even if you're, how can you put it, maybe even not new, because obviously, as you can understand, if you follow my channel, it'd be nice for you to know, and even if you don't follow, it'd be nice for you to know that obviously what we're doing over the next month or so, in terms of how we're gonna work the channel when obviously this career mode comes to end, which is today, of course. So right, final time we'll ever do qualifying then on F1 2018 career mode as George Russell. So here we go then for the final ever F1 qualifying then on this game. And yeah, so here we go, I guess. So we're gonna now leave the garage for one final time then on F1. Well, not one final time, but for the second final time, I guess, as we are about to do one of our last laps. We've got 2 laps, and we're gonna do, this is the first to get pole position here. So under the tunnel. Hold it. Don't want to touch that barrier on the right. Right. Down the hill. Into turn 4. Through turn 5. 6. And yeah. Right, don't want to be too close to the car in front because obviously the wake, but we could actually try and nick a toe. Would it be a good idea? Not too sure. Do we nick a toe? Do we need it, really? Got a nice gap behind. I think we'll do 1 lap with the toe. The second lap, we are not going to take the toe. That's what we're going to do, okay? So this lap, we're going to take the toe off Ricardo. If we feel it works, we may choose to go for a toe again, but if it doesn't, you know, then oh well. So through second final corner. Into the final now corner. Down the start, finish straight. Not a bad exit, not the greatest. Into turn 1. 4th gear through here. Out turn 1. Bit too much curb there for my liking. So much understeer. All the toe's gonna do here is give us really any time we've made, well, lost in that first sector. Won't give us anything to win. So hitting top speeds 220. Broke so late. This lap is, I think, out of the question. Gonna turn it down actually. Alright, so we'll go for a second lap straight away. Just broke too late. Luckily we're fueled for about 2 laps anyway.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
Taking a nice wide line actually through there. And we're going to get a tow as well for good measure. They did the fastest sector through there. Don't feel like we've got fastest last sector. I'd be surprised if we did. Wow. Okay. How did we even do that? I'm honestly a bit surprised that we're on pole right now. Like, yeah, I didn't really pay Raikkonen back. Also, I should have refunded him with the tow for himself, but yeah. Right, we're gonna treat these tyres like babies, if you understand. Because literally, this could be the set we're starting our race on right now. Getting in a bit of people's way as well, for good measure. But yeah, I'm surprised. We did cut a corner slightly, but that wasn't half a second, no way. And in fact, we probably drifted out. Well, I remember drifting out wide, so we cut this corner like that slightly. But then we drifted out wide slightly, so that wouldn't have been half a second. I'm doing a good job at treating these tyres, making sure they're in good nick. So, whilst we make our way back to the pits, tyres don't get any more damaged. And yeah, Raikkonen goes third. Where does Vettel go? Not too sure. Can't be top 3 anyway. Right, into the pit, so... Do you want to see what our final sector was like? It must have been quite good, actually, because I don't think we're just on pole by a small bit. I think we got about a good 3-4 tenths in the bank. Right, track will, how can you put it, cool down slightly as the sun starts to set and the shadows start to appear over circuit, and then we'll go out for our final ever lap in qualifying. Yeah. So that's saying actually got about another 10th anyway. So, got about a 10th. So yeah, actually, my estimations were slightly wrong, but nonetheless. Actually, we didn't really do any amazing sectors by the looks of it. Matched Ricciardo in the first. Second is where we were actually up. But it was the third actually. Ricciardo probably did a bad sector actually. Overall, compared to us. So, I'd say if we can find about a tenth or two in both all the sectors, I think we'd be happy with that. Yeah, because with Max Ricardo in the middle, if we can find probably certainly a 2 tenths in that middle, I think will be good. Right, we're gonna go now. So this is the final official time. We will go out in a qualifying session and leave the garage. So this is literally it now. There's no other chances. This is our final ever chance to get pole position in F1 2018. Not on an F1 game, but we'll be on this F1 game. Our final ever chance. So, got a nice bit of clean air, both in front and behind. So, we'll be literally the last to cross the line. How much of a improvement or how much of an advantage that is, I honestly don't know. So, we'll just drop back a little bit to make sure we've got a nice gap. No need to rush. I think we've got about 20 seconds delta to the line now. So we're about to do our final ever lap. Alright, out of turn 1. I'm sorry, out of final corner. Into turn 1. About 10th down actually already, which ain't necessarily the best start. Literally flew through there. Now we're going to lose out a bit here, but I'm actually not too worried, because I think it will come back to us as long as we're brave on the brakes. Hit the apex. Now I expect the time will come back certainly here. Oh no, we've just gone a bit too shallow. We're not going to find a second in the final sector, are we? So it looks like we're starting 4th. .5 seconds down on our final lap. P4 though. We didn't go into the first corner right. From there we were sort of trying to make up time, and then we had a big moment at turn 6. Yeah. Okay, so didn't go well there. Can't say it did. Right, now we're gonna reflect back quickly on all 5 seasons that we've done and every single race that we've done up till now. And yeah, we're gonna have a quick look back on our career quickly, because obviously this is the final race of this career mode. There's no other races, so let's have a look back at how this career mode in a way has planned itself out or come to be, sort of thing. So
but these things happen from time to time.
obviously
I've been in touch with some contacts
So,
at Ferrari, and they
looking
think
at,
that achieving results might
you
be a good
know,
fit for their team.
first star
We can talk to them at our next
stats.
contract review if you're
Average finish
interested.
is
Let's see what
7th.
kind of offer
Average
they can put on the
grid
table.
is 10th. Which ain't bad actually. I'm actually quite happy with them too, because we started in a very slow team. Okay, so obviously it weren't ever going to be, you know, maybe if we stay around with Mercedes for another few seasons, that would probably raise up to 4th or something, you know, for the finish, and for, you know, the grid slot probably 8th or 7th at some point. Teams joined too, so a bit like Lewis Hamilton, in a way. Miles driven, 7,528, which ain't bad. We'll probably clock that up, I don't know, God knows how much we'll clock up to by the end of the video. We're almost also at 2,000 laps. In fact, when we come round to end the first lap, we will have clocked up 2,000 laps. When we come round to end the final lap, we've clocked up 2,000 and probably 27 laps roughly on that. 25 of those, though, laps were fastest laps. So actually not bad, actually, when you think of it logically. 25 fastest laps. That's about half of what Lewis Hamilton has in real life. He's got about 41 of what I'm aware. 21 race wins. Ain't bad. I would like to get another one today. 42 podiums. 7 pole positions. That's probably been our weakest point, actually. Qualifying, actually. 7 poles, when you think of it. And I think that reflects it also in... Racing's been our thing, but qualifying's been a bit off for us overall. Total points, 1,049 overall. 2 championships in constructors and drivers, which ain't actually bad. So yeah. Let's now have a look at season's results. Obviously, let's reflect back on season 1. And them first few races, actually, I don't think we were ever comfortable with the car straight away. It probably took us to China to actually start making some serious progress. But we were outperforming our teammate. Do bear that in mind, actually, in them first few races. Because our teammate came home with a DNF and at 18th, whereas we came home with 16th and 17th. But in Australia, I think we were the last runner or second last runner or something. We weren't quick at all. Then China, 13th, you know, that was probably the first real race where we did actually or have a competitive race. 15th Spain, weren't bad. Then 13th in France, that was probably the next race where, you know. But that season, really, it was all about looking to pick up points, really. At some point in the season, 1 or 2 points, you know, to really just have a decent season. That would have been well, that was our goal. Now, what I noticed during that season, with a circuit with, how can you put it, low drag, I guess? Or, yeah, low drag. Or low downforce, should I say, or with a long back straight. Really, that's where we were strong. Okay, because if you look at the results, like, right, China has a long back straight out of, I think, turn 13, okay, or whatever. Spain is okay, that's medium straight. Okay, it's not really long, but it also has quite a big technical sector. Okay. Germany, quite low downforce again. Finishing 11th there. Okay, this was when the car obviously was been upgraded at the same time as well. Do bear that in mind. But then obviously Belgium really, well, got quite a few long straights actually. In all fairness. And we finished 7th. And that was actually probably the race that surprised me the most out of that season. I thought we could have sneaked into the points, but I didn't think we were going to finish 7th. That really surprised me. And I think we actually only finished 7th because of the drivers around us and making mistakes. Then P8 in Italy, not bad race. And then the next result, P10 in Russia, that was our last point score that season. But overall, actually, the way we finished that season off with 4 12th places in a row, plus 1 11th, that wasn't a bad way to finish the season overall. Then the next season, okay, we start going into the season, season 2 we're now on actually, to let you know. And this season wasn't really about how can you put it? It wasn't about necessarily getting, how can you put it, points every race. It was actually about probably scoring more points than we did the season before. Okay. And the season before, we finished the season with 11 points, so I would have been happy if we finished the next season with somewhere around the region of 22 to 30 points. That was my goal. But we actually, by race, 3, we already had 2 points. Then we got a podium in Canada, and that was probably the biggest surprise podium. Like, the car weren't too bad, but it weren't fast enough. Like, it was only very lucky podium. I think in quali we got 7th, and then, in the race, some DNFs and from top runners, that just gave us a podium. Then a win in Austria. That was unbelievable, actually, that first race win of our season. That was actually unreal, in all honesty. Then 9th, followed up with a 6th. And that was actually, at the time, our longest run of point scores and most point scores, like, in a single season already. Like, by the time we got to, I think it was Austria, well, no, Britain, scoring further 2 points. Then, like, Belgium didn't go the way I wanted it to. I thought, well, we've got, 7th last season here. Should we be pushing into now the top 5 here? That would be a decent aim, actually. But it didn't really go that way, so went a bit the other way. Then 4th in Italy, that was actually a good result. Okay, 9th in Russia, that was okay. I thought we could have done better. 3rd then in USA, that was a good result. Then 6th in Mexico and a 4th in Brazil, finished with a 12th in Abu Dhabi. So overall, when you look at that season, looking back on it, 105 points compared to Charles Leclerc's 91. We only really, well, that season, how many points did we finish off top of the pole? We only finished around 200 points off top of pole. And I thought, really, when we compare that to our teammate who scored 1 point, I thought, what have our teammate been doing all season long? Like, she should have been scoring more points, in my opinion, our teammate. And there was, like, races like, look, Austria, Britain, he only missed out on points there. Okay, in a way you could also argue the ones with 14ths on them. He could have got points in them races as well. But he didn't. But yeah, nonetheless, season 3, we decided to move to, Mercedes. And first season, come in, I thought, right, first race actually, I thought, right, we're not going to be up to the pace of our teammate. Straight away, I wouldn't have thought, he would have better pace in the first few races. And in fact, in all fairness, first race, we outscored him. Second race, he outscored us. Third race, we won Mercedes' first Grand Prix of the season. Then a 7th, results went a bit up and down, overall that season, with a win in Austria, not bad actually, and then a win in Germany. And it was actually when we got into the European season and late stages of the season, we started picking up momentum actually. I think during the last part of the season, we got 6 race wins in the last 11 Grand Prix, which weren't actually that bad when you consider it overall. So yeah, that's certainly not bad. But it was Mexico really what ended our championship bid, followed up by Abu Dhabi and Brazil, of course. Well, Brazil and Abu Dhabi, which really probably just put an end to our championship hopes that season, really. But 279 to outscore our teammate by what? 50 points overall that season, isn't bad. Just shows like how we came in and got down to business with him. But the next season, he responded, our teammate, in all fairness. This season, we were a lot more consistently on the podium, and in terms of point scoring. In fact, we scored points at every single race except 3. So, effectively scoring points at 18 races that season, which weren't bad, actually. And, in fact, only Also, 3 times we were not on the podium when we were inside the points. Okay, so no, sorry, 4 times actually. So when you think of it that way, again, we scored then basically 13 podiums during the course of the season. And yeah, really, really consistent. During the end, though, like the last part of the season, it was very close between us, Ricardo, and Bottas. Only 9 points in the end, separating myself, championship winner, and Valtteri Bottas. Now, that would have been the final season, but I didn't feel happy with the way we won the championship. I felt like I wanted to come back for another season to try and prove myself to be a better driver. And I think we sort of did that this season. We came back and we sort of blown the field a bit away. And in fact, if we finish with, let's say we finish in the position we finished today, okay, we will outscore ourselves from season 4 by approximately, let me just work out quickly, by approximately 7-8 points, which wouldn't be a bad outscoring figure by all means, okay, and we could in fact do more than that. So in a way, I think our season's turned out a bit similar to last season, but for whatever reason, it's like the AI's taken a step back, if that makes sense. Like, the challenge from our teammate hasn't been quite there. The challenge from McLaren was there at the beginning, but sort of faded away. Red Bull sort of never been there throughout the course of the season, really. Only sometimes Ricardo. And God knows where Max has been. Like, and that's really been what this season is, really, and the competition hasn't been there quite as much. So yeah, there are all our trophies, okay, as you can see, from all the seasons then. So yeah, the way I'd say though, if I had to describe the way that all these seasons have turned out to be, is overall, I guess, looking at it from, I think, you know, your view, it would be average, all these seasons. But from my view, I'd say they've been actually fairly decent all 5 seasons, depending on which way you look at them. Season 1, we outperformed our teammate Sergey, okay, because when we went into Williams, I picked Sergey as my teammate. I thought he'd be actually quite decent, turned out not to be the case. Season 2, that was probably, I don't know whether that was my best season, in terms of when you compare it to my teammate, outscored him by the most, 100 points. But then when you compare it maybe to the car level, I think that's where the car was. In all fairness, we kept on delivering them results. You know, whether it was good or bad, you know, we kept on delivering them results. So we outscored our teammate by 100 points. Then season 3, like, come and do that to Valtteri, first season. Not bad. 7 wins, first season. Then 6 wins in second season, and then 6 wins this season. Ain't bad, actually, when you overall look at it that way, I think. 7 actually, sorry. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into the final race then. For the final time then we will ever do a race then on F1 2018. Not the final time you'll see gameplay, because I will be doing more gameplay on F1 2018. For instance, modern car versus classic car. That'll probably be the only thing that you'll see on the channel now in relation to F1 2018. But otherwise, this will be it.
We're almost ready to go then.
Yeah. What more can I say? I may do a review video in a way again. So yeah, we'll see. So here we go then on the final formation lap ever we'll do. I didn't even look at the strategy, so I have no idea when we're pitting. We'll just go with the flow. So obviously, final ever time we will do a race on F1 2018. Right. So we're starting in P4. I think really we'll have to judge our pace early on. Right, here we go then. Just now in the second half of this formation lap. Just keeping tyres nice and warm here. So, yeah, can we get a final win? That's the question, I guess, ultimately. Can we also, I guess, well, final win. I think the hopes has to be a final win and probably, certainly a final podium, if not a win. But yeah, the win I want to aim for overall. Can we do it? Oh dear, that was a big snap. Right. So just doing brake checking sort of thing. Well, not brake checking, but right. Wanted to leave sort of a gap to Alonso, so then our tyres are nice and warm. Bunch up the rest behind us. Job done. That was the aim. It's all win, okay. Right. So final time we'll ever play F1 2018. I've said that many times now. So remember, when we complete the first lap, we will have completed 2,000 laps, which is actually quite incredible. And when we complete all the race, we should have done approximately 2027. That was the number I was just waiting for. Oh dear, what happened there? Why did my teammate drive into me? Pretty sure my teammate just drove into me there, not leaving me any room. Like, because if I'm not there, hate the IA when they do that. So you sort of got to go up the inside like madman. Alright, there we go. So P3. And that sort of allowed Ricciardo to get away, but not over yet in terms of race. Now let's quickly see when we're pitting. Lap 7. Right. Let's get the hammer down. So yeah. Right, let's try and focus on Vettel now. Already past Alonso up into third.
We're looking good from the start.
Alright, so going through middle sector here. Vettel in P3. I'm sorry, P2. We're in P3. Ricciardo in P number 1. Alonso trying to go 3-second time penalty already at this stage in the race. Are you having an absolute laugh? Usually, like, yeah, I hate the things I don't like about this game. It has to be AI sometimes with like, I like them to be racy, but sometimes they're a bit stupid, if you know what I mean. Like, yeah. Trying to slightly lift through there. So by the way, we've now completed 2,000 laps.
Okay, let's try and take those places back.
So our tyres are also slightly older because we did 2 laps in qualifying on this set.
is getting worn, reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
So they're slightly pulling away right now. Nothing really we can do. I feel like pushing the car enough to its limit as such.
Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled.
So right now, in terms of Vettel, he's not really getting away from me. Cars behind are also keeping up, which is something I don't really like. I like to build up gaps. Sort of drive off into the distance. That'd be the nicest thing to do. Those just gaining like tenths here and there. Once you do get into a rhythm of this place, this circuit sort of becomes actually one of the most enjoyable circuits on the calendar, most likely. Like, you can sort of feel the car come alive. So that time 1.2 is the gap. So it should pick up a small toe here on Sebastian. Alright, so this battle between Sebastian and I is starting to heat up a little bit. We are getting a bit closer. In terms of the cars behind, well, they're sort of being left behind now. So, what's the gap? 1.2. We're going to hypers right now. So lap number 5, and right now the gap is around 1 second to Vettel. I suspect it's around 2 seconds to Ricardo, so that'll be about 3 seconds for us to make up. Let's see what the tyres are saying. 21% wear. Do we follow our team or do we follow our heart? My heart's saying we should stay out, try and make it a one-stop. But the team is saying, come in about a lap's time, we're doing a two-stop.
They're happy with the current tyre condition. They should last a while yet, so don't worry about them.
But then my team are just saying, don't worry about the tyres. Got some tough decisions to make in a way. Alright, we're not going to give out this straight. I'm going to get a little bit closer. May help. Don't think we got enough in it to also get out this straight either. Yeah, not even going to try. Oh, you're having a joke. Really? Awarded 3 seconds and if we gained 3 seconds here, ladies and gents, I think we'd be ahead of Ricardo right now. In that time we do the exact same thing. We even cut that corner. Yet we don't get a penalty. Don't make sense that. That's what I mean. This penalty system needs to be fixed here. I suggest something like Gran Turismo, so instead of giving out time penalties, only give out certain time penalties, like maybe a slow down penalty of like a second. At least then it doesn't cost as much. Now, whilst I can make up 3 seconds easy, well, don't get me wrong, it's not whether you can do something, it's about what's fair, I feel. For most you get in real life, if I did that in real life, cutting that corner, probably not even cutting it, going out the white line, I may just get a warning to say if I continue to cut corners, I will be under investigation. And even under investigation, they look at whether or not you've left the track and gained time. So, obviously, or gained an advantage, that's a question. So, right. For instance, if I leave the track now, I've now left the track, but I haven't gained an advantage over Sebastian because it hasn't gained me a position, hasn't changed the way I, you know, gain. Like, the only thing it's helped is probably nothing. Right, I'm gonna stay out. I'm gonna follow Vettel, more or less. We'll go 1 lap more than Vettel. Rightio. So tyres are starting to get a bit more worn, just struggling with the tractions. Oh, for crying out loud. Every time it gives me a 3-second penalty, I'm gonna do this, guys. The reason why, like, I just find it stupid. I haven't done anything wrong and it's giving me a 3-second penalty. Right, Vettel's in.
The gap to the leader is 4.5 seconds. We're leading our teammate by 4.7 seconds.
Absolutely sliding through there. Well, I'm gonna actually go one stop. I feel like I can do that. We'll pit lap 14. These tires are certainly past their peak, but I feel like the longer we go, the better. Oh, for crying out loud. Really? I hate time penalties. I wish I might just take off time penalties and then for the next game or do something to help it. I wish they could have like a what you call it, a bit like they do with the slider in terms of AI difficulty. They should do something similar for penalty system, so you have a slider so you can set how difficult you want your penalties to be. So if you want it to be like proper extreme, like sort of thing, you put out like 100. If you want it to be in the middle, 50. And if you want it to be a bit less, then probably I'd say 30 to 35, somewhere in that region. Then at least you don't get, you know, these silly scenarios where if you cut the corner slightly, you'll be penalised, you know. Oh, it's way too deep. Falling into my teammate a lot here. And what's annoying me a little bit, no one is coming in, so we're all just going round. I'm losing like a heap load of time. I'm just wondering, when is Ricardo coming in? When is my teammate coming in? I know when I'm coming in, for freaking sake. These tyres are gone. Losing about now a second. How are the AI relentlessly keeping their pace up? It's like it's impossible to take certain corners the way you would maybe 10 laps ago. Here is okay. Still, I can take this how I want. But even through there, you're still getting some slide from the car. And you really feel there's a wheel spin.
Box, box, box.
Like, yeah. The middle sector, we're not that bad. We're losing about a tenth. But certainly that first sector, wow, that is scary. I'm doing a lot better of a job. Like, even through there, right, that's one of the slower speed corners, and you just saw how much slide we got. A whole heap load. Right, my teammate's in.
Our gap
By
to
the way.
first place is 7.4 seconds. The gap behind us is
teammate's in.
3.1 seconds.
Wonder what tyre he's going for. You could probably make it to the end of the Grand Prix from here, I would say. Oh dear. Gotta take the escape road. I don't know whether 5-second penalty for taking the escape road. Now, as you saw, guys, I purposely slowed down to, how can you put it, give back time to the AI, and I still get penalised. Now, I just want to check something. Like, obviously I've now done that. I'm not going to have a 5-second stop and go for something really petty like that. That's really stupid. My teammate's gone ultra soft, so that suggests to me he is doing a one-stop strategy. It wouldn't suggest he's doing anything others. So do we come in now, effectively? Because our teammate's now on the ultras. I think there's nothing else we can do. We've got to. If we don't, we're going to be caught out by our teammate. And we don't want that to happen now. Like, because there's nothing more. If we stay out, like, there's no way. I don't want to risk losing the podium. And I don't want to risk, like, Ricardo's probably going to go on ultras now as well. I don't know where I've just sort of let the cat out of the bag on what everyone's going to do now. So there's no more strategy really. But yeah. Box this lap. Set ultra softs. Set ultra softs.
Say again, you're breaking up. Okay, we can take you this lap.
So I've had to come in a bit slower. So yeah, Ricardo's gone ultras, we're going ultras. I think everyone's going to go ultras now.
Go, go, go.
Right, where will we come out? That's the question. For whatever reason, I think we're going to be jumped. Vettel's now jumped Ricardo, by the way.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty. Dangerous driving. You cross over into the track.
So, not quite being jumped by our teammate. We've come out ahead. Yeah, now the only thing we can do that would really give us advantage is obviously now, well, we're racing to the end, but really we're gonna have to try and close up the gap to Vettel as we already make a maneuver on Sainz for what is 4th place.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
And we're now gonna try and get past Lance Stroll. The sooner the better. Too far back, unfortunately. Had to do that. Illegal overtake. You're having a joke. He didn't even give me any room. So it's either that or illegal overtake, or we do that. Like, honestly, I thought... See how pathetic this game really is, like, it's a joke. Alright, anyway. Ultra tyres feel quite nice, I must say. Literally just come out on them, and they are working like a treat. Vettel done fastest lap, by the way. So, this is a point in the race where we've sort of got to find nice pace in us now. Like, I feel like if we're gonna win this race, oh, for crying out loud! Are we getting 3 seconds? We'd be 6 seconds behind Ricardo. I bet we're not. Oh, that time we don't get penalty. Hey? Yeah, we cut the track. Yeah, anyway, as I was saying, if we're gonna be or get in the battle with Ricardo, we'd need to gain at least 3 seconds and hope for that Ricardo is stuck behind Vettel for at least the next few laps. Also, we'd have to hope that something happens to Ricardo's car. Right, 9.5.
Great work.
8.5, so
Fastest lap for the race.
literally
Gap to
that's
teammate behind
new
is
fastest lap.
0.7 seconds.
Must say these ultra softs do feel very good.
Gap to car in front is 8.
I must say I'm enjoying my ultra soft spell right now. Right now though, Ricardo ain't been able to use up his ultra softs, and now Ricardo's been released. Vettel may though just overtake. We'll have to wait and see on what happens here.
Ricardo's taken the lead.
Yeah. Alright, now our aim must be catch Vettel, or get within like X amount of seconds of Vettel, to give him like 0 chance of a comeback. Like, because right now, okay, he's got a lot of overtaking to do, in all fairness, but I wouldn't put it past Vettel, because he will have quicker or fresher tyres. So, if we can get, like, somewhere close to Sebastian. Now, we're in his pit stop window.
They have some kind of mechanical problem.
If there was a safety car, it'd be actually quite nice. It'd certainly bump the field up again. Oh, crying out loud, done it twice now, that. So, sun's setting now. Track now becomes this, well, dark. Nice pink sky up to the right, which is okay. Nice to look at. Raikkonen's certainly hurting some people's races now. Raikkonen's dropped back a whole heap of time. And we're within 6 seconds of Sebastian. Tell you one thing Vettel doesn't want. Vettel's in now. Ah, that's annoying. Yeah, one thing that Vettel wouldn't want is us rolling up to the back of him. That probably would just be the killer strike to Vettel's race. Now, Vettel's in, so we're gonna take second place off Vettel. Now, question is, can we go after Ricciardo? But thing is, Ricciardo's run out is quite a long way up the road. So if there's one final twist in this race, there'd need to be a safety car, I think, or some sort of issue with Daniel, like, to cause it. Like, because right now, unfortunately, the pace Daniel's going is good enough to win. The pace we're going, well, it's not bad, but
strategy is available on the MFT.
it's not enough,
Got that confirmed.
unfortunately. 8.9 the gap. And there's a yellow flag. It's one of McLaren's going slowly. So could there be a safety car? As reliability must now be taking its toll. Still no safety car. Van Dorn is out of the race. I'm just sort of apprehending.
Our gap behind is 5.
Bottas is out of the race. Wow. And yet there's no safety car. We're now down to 17 cars. Yet still no safety car. In real life, I reckon there would be one right now. It wouldn't give me a race win at the moment, but it certainly would allow me to make a free pit stop. Give me a chance to put on a set of the Hypersoft tyres. And then, yeah.
Yellow flag.
So, yellow flag for Van Dorn is parked up over there.
Understood.
Who-
Stopping this lap.
Full race update.
Second place. You're in second place. Ricardo is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 8.7 seconds. They're on old Ultra Softs. Alonso is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 5.1 seconds. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. 11 laps to go.
So 8.7 is the gap. Right now, I've taken, by the way, 2/10 out of Ricardo. Alonso's taken 2/10 out of me. We'll see. Oh, that's about another 10th out of Ricardo. Just wondering why this could be the case now. We'll have just analysing our sectors. Is Ricciardo holding something back? Is Ricciardo saving fuel? Is Ricciardo got an issue? So we are gaining. Like, let's see. We've gained a further 2/10 in that sector alone. So, yeah, like, I think we also gained 3/10 on. So car behind Alonso, but that certainly is good. Right. Driver in front.
Ricardo ahead. Our gap to the car in front is
8.2.
8.4 seconds. They're on old Ultra Softs. Their tyres are 7 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 36.8. Okay, gap to leader 8.2 seconds.
That's first time Ricardo's responding to our challenge, but just gonna see. Certainly been a glimmer of hope there, certainly, though, for a short period of time. Just about to see whether or not that glimmer of hope is still alive. There could be some sort of issue mechanically. I just don't know. Again, taking another 3/10 out in that middle sector. So, yeah. That is certainly interesting right now. Gap's down to 7.9, so first time it's been under 8 seconds since our pit stops. Right. Whatever's wrong with Ricardo, if anything wrong with Ricardo, could be key. Right now we are gaining though. 7.8 is the gap, so that gap is coming down by about half a second a lap, roughly. Per lap. Won't come down 7 seconds on this lap though, as we've just spun. I wanna use a flashback there. That was our first mistake I think we've made all race long. So 21 laps before we made a genuine like error where, okay, hands held up, we were caught off guard. But yeah, nonetheless, still. So we got 7 laps till the end of then this race. And 7 laps to catch Daniel Ricciardo, who seems in this middle sector to be vulnerable. That's the only way I can describe it. Well, he certainly doesn't seem to have the pace through here. Let's see if we can do the same again. No, not this time. So this time, in fact, losing a tad to Ricardo. I'll try and do a good last sector, see if we make any gains. Wow, we've just taken another 4/10. In fact, more than that. Over in that first sector, last sector, sorry. Took about half a second, but Ricardo responds immediately for gaining 3/10 there. So slow sectors are, how can you put it, like, we're gaining about quite a nice amount in that last sector. We gained around half a second there alone. Not monitoring them because Ricardo's got an issue, which from the sectors he could. Because first hand, well, middle and last sector, he ain't massively doing what he was doing before. See what I mean? Like, there's another 10th chipped away. Now, it could be where Our tyres are now starting to maybe we're more comfortable in this set. I just don't know.
Fuel target is +1. Faster engine modes are
So
available.
7.1. Right now though, regardless whether we're catching or not, Ricardo's pace is good enough to still win in the race. We would need to gain at least a second now per lap. And for whatever reason, I don't think that's gonna happen. That upshift was a bit, how can you put it, shit. Alright. .8. I think if we get under 5 seconds, I'll be proud of that. .4, so
The gap behind us is 5.7 seconds.
.6 now. Looks like Ricardo's controlling his pace, responding when he
We have
needs
5
to.
laps of fuel remaining.
So, a few laps now to go. Gap 6.3. As I say, we can get down to 5 seconds or somewhere in that region. I'd actually be happy with that, because it means like we would have gained over the course 4 seconds this stint. And second place like today, which ain't bad.
The distance to the leader is 5.8 seconds.
So no longer got the grip we once had through that first sector anymore. Tyres are certainly going. Driver in front.
Ricardo is ahead of you. The gap to the car ahead is 5.8 seconds. You're closing by 0.4 per lap. They're on old Ultra Softs. Their tyres are 12 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:37.5.
Sorry about the lack of commentary, but yeah, Not really much to commentate on now. This race is more or less practically over.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
5.6. God, I must have done a better lap because he only took 2 tenths out in there. So only a few more laps to go now, and obviously that will be then the end of this season. Then right now Ricciardo, whatever issue he may have, because he certainly hasn't responded as you may expect to the challenge that we've laid down right now. But then does he need to? Like, he only needs to control that pace. He doesn't need to deploy full beans, risk, I don't know, losing his front wing or anything. If anyone that needs to deploy full beans, it'd be us right now. And there you go, just responds by 3 tenths, middle sector. In fact, speaking of the devil, right now Fernando Alonso 5 seconds behind. I think Vettel's behind him, got to be. No way that's Kimi. But nonetheless, it's been a good season overall. Good 5 seasons. But yeah, as we come round to start the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix, 5.5 seconds is the gap between us and Ricciardo. We are getting ever closer to the line. 5.9 now is the gap, as the tyres are certainly going off now. Yeah. Now we're going to also deploy a bit of engine now for one final time. This is just to see the checkered flag more than anything in the position we're in. As yeah, and what a season it's been. 6.5 now is the gap between Ricciardo and myself. I think Ricciardo's said checkmate to me now. In a way, I certainly got no more pace in these tyres. They're spent, just like the last set. They worked really well in their prime, I will say that. Really, really well in their prime, they did.
This is your final lap of the
But
race.
at the peak, you know, so final now time we plough down this straight as we're on the final lap, by the way, of the race. And we're gonna obviously finish in second, just like the season before.
Gap to the car behind is 2.9 seconds.
We only really made one mistake. Okay, the penalties I did use flashbacks for, because I don't agree with them. But, you know, in terms of, you know, the mistakes, only one actually during this race out of the first 21 laps. Really, like obviously we've been sliding also about, you know, here and there, but we've only had one spin. Daniel Ricciardo takes the checkered flag. We come home in second for the final race then of our career. That is then that, ladies and gentlemen. But before we go, I want to do one last thing, okay, in this career mode, because obviously we've got a lot of points to spend, believe it or not. So I want to check how good could we have made the car for next season, season 6. Of course, we're not doing season 6, but let's see how good we can make the car, or could have made the car, if you understand where I'm coming from. Because obviously, yeah, as you can hopefully expect, there's Adrian Newey on the podium, I presume. So yeah, obviously sort of cutting the final cutscenes. So yeah. So Alonso finishes in second then, by the way. 343 points, by the way, which ain't bad. 609 points in the constructors for us Mercedes. Unfortunately, McLaren don't pit Red Bull. Unfortunately, in today's race, unfortunately, Red Bull pit McLaren. But nonetheless, that's how then finally the final time things finish in the constructors. So we finish on top. Red Bull second, McLaren third, Ferrari in fourth. Fifth is Force India, sixth Renault, seventh Sauber, eighth Toro Rosso, ninth is Haas, and 10th is Williams, sadly. So yeah, in terms of drivers, well, the drivers finishes with us on top by 69 points ahead, actually, from Bottas, who's in third. Fourth is Ricciardo, fifth Vettel, sixth Kimi Raikkonen, then seventh Verstappen, eighth is Van Dorn, ninth Perez, 10th Ocon, 11th Sainz, 12th Hulkenberg, 13th Leclerc, 14th Gasly, 15th Magnussen, 17th and 16th Stroll, 17th Ericsson, 18th Romain Grosjean, 19th Brendan Hartley, and rounding up the grid is my former old teammate Sergei Sorokin, of course. So there we go then. That is then the end of that season, sadly, of course. So yeah, that is it, ladies and gents. But as I say, before we go, we'll just do one last thing, okay?
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy.
And we will see, of course.
You must be happy with the result today.
You know, how things, you know, how can I put it?
We all underestimated
We'll see how
you, didn't we?
things, you know, or how things could have planned out next season in terms of
Do you think you
car-wise.
were lucky not to end your race with
So,
that crash?
just answering media questions.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Then, as we obviously, we will sort of renegotiate our contract. We'll see how things could have played out for next season. Basically, that's what we're gonna do now. Rightio. So, in terms of rivalry, well, so we took a 13-6 lead. We probably would have won the Vettel rivalry, by the way, against Sebastian. So we'll just say that was a win then against Vettel. In terms of the, like, how, you know, virtually every single team wants us. You know, Ferrari wants us, Renault wants us, every team wants
Nice
us
job
more or
this
less at the
season.
moment in
You've been
Formula
performing
1.
well, and that's putting us in a strong negotiating position
And
contract-wise.
even our team.
Plus, my 10%'s getting more valuable. So enjoy your break, and keep up the good work next year.
So there we go then. So just nice words from obviously our engineers. But obviously, as I say, we'll just renegotiate our contract. We're not going to do a season 6. So we'll just see what is the best contract we could get.
Your contract.
So
Here you
the
can see
team would have
point
offered
board.
us,
Once
you know,
negotiations
so
begin, the team
I
will make you an
reckon
offer.
we can be a bit
You
cheeky
can
here.
accept if you like, but
Let's see.
I strongly suggest we push for better terms. We're asking for too much here. We need to make some compromises. They aren't coming round to that proposal. let's try something else. Okay, that proposal looks good.
So,
It seems all
right,
parties are happy with
we
the
got
deal.
8,000
So
points to
commence the next
spend, so let's spend them 8,000 points, okay, ladies and gents, and let's see how good of a car this car could have been next season, okay? So, apparently unable to develop good department capacity, so we're gonna upgrade that. So, he's still got 5,000 points left to spend. So, still got 3,000. So there we go. So let's see how much better than this car would be than the rest of the field quickly. So we'll skip to Melbourne. We're not doing any more seasons, okay? So that's the end of season 5. Let's see what the chart would say in Melbourne if we decided to do a season 6, which we're not going to. We may return to it at some point in maybe, if we do, maybe next year, maybe some point, but certainly not for a long time. We won't be returning to this game, well, to this career mode anyway, should I say. So, yeah, let's see how good of a car we could have had in terms of compared to maybe the rest of the field. So we're about to find out in about a few seconds, okay, obviously, so how much better would have this car been?
I hope you're well rested.
So,
as much as you can
I wouldn't say it would have been
in the gym anyway.
stupidly fast,
I've been in
but
touch with some
I'm going to
contacts
say
at Ferrari,
it would be about
and they think
1
your
second
attitude and
faster than
results might be a good fit
Ferrari,
for their team.
okay?
We can talk
I think
things
that would be a
next
fair
month,
assessment.
if you're interested.
Maybe around half a
What
second
kind of
quicker than
offer
Red
do you have on
Bull.
the table?
I'm going to say certainly two tenths quicker than the McLarens. So it would have been the quickest car, according to this. In terms of by how much, I honestly wouldn't know. But yeah, nonetheless. So yeah, that is then that, ladies and gents. That is the end of season 5. That's the end of career mode. Then, ladies and gents. And yeah, that is that. No more career mode whatsoever. That's then the end of it. So yeah. So just as I say, go check out my channel update, okay, by the way. And then, okay, you'll understand what's going to happen, okay, by the way, in terms of career mode, well, not career mode, but in terms of videos going forward from next month until F1 2019 comes out, where we'll start a fresh career mode, obviously. So yeah, go check that out. Subscribe, like, and share if you're new to the channel as well, please. That'd be more than appreciated. And see you all next time on, well, it'll be probably the next time a video will come out, okay. I'm looking to start a new series called the Uprise and Downfall series. I'll just quickly explain what that is. It'll be a series that basically, so first man that we'll be talking about, will be analysing Hamilton's career so far, and the uprise of his career and the downfalls of his career. So for instance, you know, many bits and bobs. Okay, then obviously, yeah, we'll do that, okay, the Uprise and Downfall series, okay, first time with Hamilton, then we'll do Vettel, and then we'll probably go Senna, then Schumacher, so that'll probably get a video a week, okay, you know, hopefully going there, okay, so that'll be something forward for you to look out for. You'll have my race reaction, remember, on Mondays, okay, or Sundays, depending on time of Grand Prix, okay, and finally, to top it all off, okay, you also have my preview to the Grand Prix, okay, so it won't be the final time we do videos on F1 2018, but it is certainly the final time we'll do career mode on F1 2018. So until the next career mode in about, let me just work out. So today's the 16th, so 25th when we're getting the game. So in about 40 days time, well 39, then yeah, so see you all next time. Have a great I guess day and weekend. See you all next time for another video.